Hi, everyone. Sarah here. We're going to be talking about emotional subscriptions today. Subscriptions of the mind, subscriptions of the mind of the traumatized. If you have been in a narcissistic relationship, an emotionally unavailable and emotionally abusive relationship, whether it was relationship with your parents or with partners, your mind has subscribed. If you think about it, like all of the other subscriptions you have, subscriptions to Amazon, subscriptions to Netflix, subscriptions to certain Spotify stations, iTunes, we live in a world of subscriptions. And the mind is no different. There are some subscriptions that we need, that benefit us, and many that we have that we don't need that are hurting us, and many that we don't know how to unsubscribe from. But we understand the impact, the influence, the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions that we have and that we experience and that we perceive when we're subscribed to certain channels. So if you find it like you want to change the channel, you've got a remote just as easily as it is to flip through and find a show or a new series that you want to watch. You do that, and you're able to do that because you're subscribed to that provider. Let's just use Netflix, for example. You can log in to Netflix. There's a little secret password. You log in and you have access to so many different shows, access to many, many, many different things. And that's the same way that our mind works. Imagine logging in as like waking up. You have access to many shows, many different choices, different things to wear, different things to eat, different people to spend your time with, different places that you can go. You wake up and you log in. It's like, everything's awake. Just like when you log in, you have access to so many shows, many different things that you can watch, and you can choose how long you get to stay and what to watch. The same thing is true for our minds. But the trouble is that we're subscribed to certain feelings and thoughts. And we're subscribed to certain feelings or thoughts, or we feel the feelings, we think the thoughts because of the channel that we're logged into, because of the outlet that you're subscribed to. And for so many people who've experienced past emotional trauma, past abuse, past neglect, emotional unavailability, connection to something that they deeply desired. For many of us, it's the context of a relationship. We want a healthy, loving, safe, supportive, trusting relationship. And when we have an opportunity to have that, we'll give it our all, because having that leaves us feeling so good. It leaves us feeling happy, satisfied, fulfilled, content, like we have a purpose, like we're plugged into, we're connected to this thing, and it's our soul's experience, our soul's longing is to be connected, is to be a part of that experience. But when we're subscribed emotionally to things that remove us from that, we feel this disempowerment, this disconnect. And the trouble with the mind of the traumatized is it's still subscribed to certain shows or certain outlets that cause it to believe it's never going to achieve that it doesn't deserve to have that. When I'm working with people one-to-one, when I'm working with one-to-one clients, what they become aware of is that they're subscribed to confusion, to lack, to limitation, to not trusting themselves, to being unsure. And they're constantly unsure of everything. They don't know. They don't know what they want. They don't believe that it's available to them. So they're subscribed to comparison, to judgment, to looking at what other people have and believing that that's impossible, that they've tried to get it. They've tried to change the channel, but it's like every time they try to change the channel, they end up watching the same show, the same story, same narrative, different characters, different setting, same plot twist. And they realize the plot twist leaves them feeling completely defeated, leaves them feeling like they're the victim and the villain in their own show, in the show of their own life. That I don't like this show. I'm going to change the channel. I don't like the way it makes me feel. It feels scary. I'm going to change the channel. Same show. How did this happen? In the beginning, it looked different. I had hope again. Maybe it was going to turn out differently this time, but nope, same show. And realize we're plugged in, we're subscribed to things that make us feel weak, that make us feel like we're never going to get out of this narrative of this story. It's like, how many How many Marvel movies can you watch until you say, no, you've seen them one, you've seen them all? And all you Marvel fans out there, don't hate me for that, but that's what it's like. The trouble with the mind of the traumatized is to subscribe to a particular channel, and that channel is what causes the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions, the actions that you have, the lack of belief, of trust, of something greater. It's like you're trying to turn the channel, but you're watching different shows, but they're really all the same. And that's truly the saddest, most helpless part about it. It has you longing for something else, longing for something more, but feeling like no matter what you do, you still live with that longing. It's a longing. It's out there. It's not here. It's not in the present. It's not a part of your current experience of life. It's not showing up in your present relationships. It's not available. We have this subconscious thought and belief, well, it's not available to me. And this disconnection and this heaviness, when we see it's clearly available to other people because I look at them and I see that they have it. So something must be wrong with me, but I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to change it. I had a recent client who realized her fear of the truth. She realized her fear of the truth because of an experience that she had when she was younger. And so many people, when working together, they go into a state of natural regression. It doesn't have to be a forced thing. You don't have to go back to pain from the past to be free from it in the present. But she went back to this time where her first experience of this was with her father, was with her father. Her father was the leader in their life, in their family dynamics. He had a father who everyone had to listen to because if he didn't, well, wasn't pretty. And a mother who was very emotional and was constantly experiencing being humiliated. And she grew up in an environment where this is what she saw, what she was exposed to every day, where this was normal. And the thing about growing up, the thing about our childhood is you don't realize it's not normal. It is normal. Regardless of what you experienced, the perception is that this is normal. It's not until you get older and you realize, wait, your parents never did that? Your parents didn't say that? What do you mean? And then you realize it's not normal. It's not what everyone experiences because everyone grows up with different experiences. But it's not so much the experiences, it's our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and most importantly, the unconscious beliefs we've developed about ourselves that lead to the patterns and behaviors that we have later on, that lead to the self harm, that lead to the self deprivation, that lead to this self defeating behavior, that lead to believing that everything that we want is not available to us, that we're not good enough, that we're never going to have it, we're never going to attain it, we're never going to achieve it. So with her father, him being the leader in her life, she ended up choosing partners later on who were like that, who took that leading role, and she ended up adopting the identity of her mother and taking that very emotional, very submissive role, the role of continuously being humiliated, and wanted to break free from it, but didn't understand why, with everything else she had tried, she wasn't able to, until realizing I've never gotten to the core and the root of this. But we were able to in working together. And she realized that the truth was used as a weapon. Anytime her mother would speak up to her father, her mother would speak the truth. She ended up being humiliated and put on the stand and had the spotlight put on her, and had her father, who played the leading role in the life, humiliate her, dominate her, make her look stupid, and have everyone else join in making her look like that wasn't the truth, even though she was continuously standing for her truth. The truth was used against her as a weapon in the dynamic in the family in which she grew up in. So she ended up later on, prior to working together, attracting partners who had those same traits and qualities, who made her feel stupid, who had the same energy, the same the same responses that her father did to her mother when she would stand up for the truth and use the truth as a weapon against her. So she became really uncomfortable with those feelings and with emotions around the truth. They started to make her feel really uneasy. She'd feel really sick, especially when thinking about speaking the truth and standing up for what she believed was her truth and her right to stand up for it. And all of those feelings that she felt, well, the truth is now used against me as a weapon. And it's used against me even more as a weapon if I share the truth, or if I speak the truth, or if I say things that feel like my truth. It feels like I become attacked. And in an effort to avoid the feeling or the emotions or the thoughts of being attacked, she began to avoid the truth. She began to avoid speaking the truth to herself and in her relationships. And she got to this point in her mid 30s where she couldn't explain her feelings. Those were her words. I just can't explain why I can't explain my feelings. But when we truly got to the core and the root of what was going on, that's what was there. She realized she had subscribed to the truth is a weapon that's now used against me. And it better not be exposed. I better keep the truth hidden in the dark. I better not say anything about it. I better not speak of it because it will end up just causing more pain, more harm, more discontent. It will end up causing arguments in relationships. She began to develop this unconscious pattern of trying to hide the truth, of trying to keep the truth in the dark, and began feeling like she was constantly opening herself to attack if she spoke up for herself, if she stood for the truth. And when she did, it left her feeling even more weak, even more broken, even more defeated, like there was less energy. So she came to me feeling completely exhausted on all levels, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, feeling like there was nothing left of her. And she was forcing herself to turn the truth off in an effort to try and protect herself, to try and keep the connections that she did have, to try and save the relationships that she did have, because she didn't want to feel all alone. There's not a single person, if they're being honest and truthful with themselves and with you, would say that they want to feel alone or that they like feeling alone or lonely. There are times when we need our alone time, but if that alone time doesn't recharge you, if it further pulls you into the darkness and into the hole, then there's something about it. Just like perhaps what she experienced. She turned off her intuition. She turned off this connection or the desire for connection because of one of those experiences from her past. And this is just one of so many things that can be going on, that can be a part of what our mind is subscribed to. Because the mind of the traumatized is subscribed to things like saying, turn off your intuition, that the truth is a weapon that will be used against you. And it can feel like this channel that we're trying to change and we can't. We can feel like, oh, a new show, another relationship, another job, another opportunity. And it can feel like the same story, different characters. And it can lead us feeling even more heavy, even more defeated, even more deflated, and even more stuck in our lives. So what needs to happen in order to change the subscription is to get to the very core and very root of what is going on. What is causing that subscription? You can unsubscribe. You can go into Netflix right now. You can go into Amazon and you can unsubscribe. You can stop your access, stop your ability to log in, to plug in, to tune into that. And the same is true with the different energies and frequencies that you want to be living with in your life. You can plug into the subscription that it's safe. It's safe to share the truth. It's safe to say and to speak your truth, not in the context of certain relationships, because those people don't have that same subscription with themselves. And there is a way to do it. And the way to do it is getting to the very core and the very root of what's causing it internally, unconsciously. So you can plug in and subscribe to knowing your intuition is there to guide you, it's there to keep you safe, it's there to protect you. And it's not something that has to feel like when you plug into, when you subscribe to, can be used against you. So it really just depends. It depends on where you're at and what you want. If you're ready to turn it on, to tune it in, to listen to it, to feel safe, supported, connected, guided by that inner voice, by that inner truth, by that inner intuition, you've got to unsubscribe from some things and subscribe to other things. And that all takes place inside the unconscious mind, with truly getting to what is really stopping and blocking you so that you can resubscribe or newly subscribe to something much more powerful, much more beneficial, and much more positive for you so that you can live the life that you desire to. When you're ready for that, I would love to connect. You can find out more information using the link in the description below this video. Until then, sending you so much love. Bye for now.